Hey everybody, I'm Mr. Wright, and welcome to Wright at the Movies. If you're looking for reviews on movies, you've come to the right place. Today I'm talking about Star Trek Beyond. It's the third movie in this rebooted Star Trek timeline, this time directed by Justin Lin as opposed to J.J. Abrams, who quit to do another space movie. What was it called again? Star Wars? Can I just say how weird it is that J.J. Abrams has directed both a Star Trek and a Star Wars movie? People always like to take sides, right? Red Sox versus Yankees, Star Trek versus Star Wars, DC versus Marvel. It's silly. You can like them both at the same time. I love Star Trek and Star Wars, and I'm so excited that we're getting movies out of both of those franchises.
My dad joined Starfleet because he believed in it. I joined on a dare.
You joined to see if you could live up to him.
When I heard that Justin Lin was taking over, I was expecting something really different, but also something really not different. And that's exactly what I got. You don't hire the guy that directed Fast and Furious to come on and not make something fast or furious. When J.J. Abrams rebooted the Star Trek timeline, he made it way more actiony and way more shiny. A thing that some people loved, and some people did not. But much to my surprise, Star Trek Beyond is much slower and much more thought-provoking than I ever thought it would be. I mean, the action's still in there, but you know, it's different.
You spent all this time trying to be your father, and now you're wondering just what it means to be you.
This time the movie starts with that 5-year mission already started. They've been living together for quite a while, and there's a bit of a tension going on the ship. Most of the adventures that we remember from the TV show, I imagine happening somewhere in between these movies. Everyone's getting restless, everyone's getting tired, and they all need a break. Much like real life, everyone getting crammed in this little submarine would get claustrophobic, it would get tense, and that's something that I've never really thought about in a Star Trek movie before.
It's easy to get lost in the vastness of space. There's only yourself, your ship, your crew.
So they decide to land on this space station and stretch their legs and take a break. And then the aliens attack, and, you know, then there's a movie. They all need to keep their cool, because if not, they'll all start freaking out and panicking. And I know I was. I mean, these alien bastards destroyed the Enterprise.
What the hell is this?
I mean, that's never happened in a Star Trek movie before. Except for this time. And that time. Oh, and that other time? And technically this time, but like, that's it. Most Star Trek movies go bigger, badder, more blockbuster, more action. This is the first Star Trek movie that feels the most like the TV show. It actually feels small, kinda cheap, and much more character-centric than any of the other Star Trek movies have.
You really want to head back out there, huh?
It trades huge action sequences for small character stuff, and the acting in these movies are why I keep coming back. The cast is so good. Chris Pine is a great Captain Kirk, both being able to make the character his own and also still have just a bit of that William Shatner swagger. And Zachary Quinto as Spock may be the best actor in all of these movies. It's so hard to humanize a character like that, and he makes it look easy. Simon Pegg, Karl Urban, Zoe Saldana, and Anton Yelchin. The cast is still phenomenal, and we feel like we've known them for years when it's only been 3 movies. These characters feel like family after a while, and that's always really important for me with Star Trek.
Pardon me.
And adding in Idris Elba as the bad guy is never a bad move. The guy's a great actor, and he's great in just about every movie. Even movies that aren't so good, he's really good in them. Unfortunately, as much as I love Idris Elba, and as much as I love what he's trying to do with this character in this movie, there's not a lot for him to do.
Our captain will come for us. Mercy will be the last thing on his mind.
I am counting on it.
This villain is pretty flat. And it's pretty clear to me that the villains in all of these movies are going for a bit of that Marvel movies route, meaning that they focus much more on the heroes. They want to make sure that we love the heroes. They want to make sure that we love that main cast so much that we just want to see them beat the bad guys. We don't need to take a bunch of time in order to analyze the bad guy. Let's just beat him. And that works for some movies, and it works here.
Unity is not your strength, it is a weakness.
I think you're underestimating humanity.
Obviously, there's an elephant in the room. In between movies, we've lost both Leonard Nimoy and Anton Yelchin, and that's just really sad. It's always hard when an actor dies that's very closely associated with a fan favorite character, and we'll never get to see that character again. There's a hole left in Star Trek and in this movie, and I'm glad that they at least talk about it, and that they talk about it in a nice and respectful way. With all that being said, if you're a fan of the first two movies and you liked all the crazy fast-paced action, you might not like this one as much because it's much slower. And if you're one of the classic die-hard Star Trek fans that thinks that Star Trek always needs to be thoughtful and have something to say, this might be more your speed. But it is still directed by the guy who made Fast and Furious. So go in with that in mind, and I think you're gonna be okay.
Hold on to something! Fire at will! Do it! Do it!
People like to say that J.J. Abrams turned Star Trek into Star Wars. I sorta kinda agree with that sometimes. I mean, we've had the inspiring first movie that's kind of small in its scale, and then we get the darker middle chapter that's much bigger and much more intense. And if that's the case, then this is the Return of the Jedi of this series. It's smaller, it's cheaper, and it's frankly just not as good, but you like getting to see your sci-fi family one last time. There's some sad scenes, there's some emotional scenes, and there's some action-packed, really fun scenes, and you walk out with a smile on your face. Both old Star Trek fans and new, I think everyone will really like this one and really brings the whole series together. I had a good time with Star Trek Beyond, and I'm gonna give it 1 thumb up. What did you think of Star Trek Beyond? Comment down below. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Mr. Wright. Please remember to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.